ado, I want to turn it over to our esteemed Executive Director, Dr. Alan Schwartz, to give us his view of the state of the CDI, and then to make the special introduction of a very new member of our Discovery Institute who you're going to meet for the first time tonight. So, Alan,
thanks, Lee. So I'm going to keep my first set of remarks brief because you get to hear, as Keith pointed out, you get to hear me 3 times tonight. So first I'm going to give you a brief set of vignettes about where we are in the Discovery Institute. Then I'm going to introduce our new scientific director. After her introduction to you and a discussion of Research 101, I'm going to organize for you all the next hour and presentations that we're going to have in this and the proximate rooms. And then after our presentations, we're going to bring everyone back in here and we're going to have a short panel discussion, which I'm going to lead our presenters in the other room. So that's the program for tonight. So as Lee said, we started out the Discovery Institute focused, in my view, on 3 key things. And I'd like to tell you where we are on them, using words a little bit different than Lee's. First, we really wanted teams of investigators to collaborate across traditional boundaries, people to get together from departments, from schools of the university, from disciplines that normally don't talk as comfortably together. And you will see that in real time tonight in the presentations, and we're doing a great job of that. And as Lee said, we've already funded investigators from 16 different departments of the university. Second, we have a major commitment to young, bright minds. As many of you know who are involved in biomedical research, and those of you who haven't, pay attention to this. It is very difficult to get funds from the federal government to new people when they're starting out. The toughest time to launch careers in biomedical investigation is at the beginning. Once you're, old gray and bald like I am and have done this for a while, it's a lot easier. It's really hard at the beginning. And so we're devoting a lot of our resources to young, bright minds at the beginning to give them that launch. Okay? So our scholars here tonight is one group, but all of the grants that we review are prioritized toward the young, bright people. And the third thing we do, and I think we do it extremely well, is we target things which are innovative. They don't all work, they're high risk, but when they yield, they have high yield, as opposed to the next mundane, obvious step. I mean, there are a lot of places that want to support the next obvious step. Okay? We hope you're all here tonight because you believe, as we do, that you want to take some high risk, high yield things. We have a real challenge in front of us. The challenge is, today we have 125 really ill patients in St. Louis Children's Hospital. Half of them are in the intensive care units. Okay? I say to Lee, I would be really satisfied if we could put St. Louis Children's out of business. Not out of business because it doesn't do a good job, out of business because we've made such tremendous advances in pediatric and child health that there isn't the need that exists today for child health support. So we're going to gamble on high risk, high yield things. We ask everyone, faculty across Washington University, to send us their best ideas and compete for grants. And we have a competition going on right now for this fall where we are receiving 36 applications across 9 departments of the university, 2 schools of the university, and almost all of them are partnerships of faculty across disciplines. So we are hitting all of our lofty goals, and in large part thanks to you, and in large part thanks to our scientific advisory board, the other group of advisors in addition to our board of managers. The scientific advisory board are most esteemed scientists from Washington University, from around the country, that review all of the applications that come to us and prioritize those in terms of young people, cross-disciplinary, high risk, potential high yield, and creative. So we're meeting and exceeding all the targets. And tonight, our demonstrations are really threefold. The first, you had a chance to see through the posters some of the works in progress, one from each of our centers and one a core resource, our mouse genetics core, that are sort of intros and snippets to the kind of work done within each of the 4 centers of the Discovery Institute. I'm now going to introduce our new scientific director, and she's going to have the opportunity to spend 10 or 15 minutes with you trying to bring everyone up to speed in terms of what is biomedical research today. How does it get done? And how does it actually happen? Because what we're interested in is the end product, and it's not as simple as I have a good idea, here's the result. So Mary Dinauer, who I'll ask to come up and join me in just a minute, has just joined us as the scientific director of the Children's Discovery Institute. Dr. Dinauer is the first Fred Sy Distinguished Professor in Pediatric Research at St. Louis Children's Hospital and at Washington University School of Medicine. She is arguably, and certainly in my view, the world leader in how the blood cells kill invading bacteria. Okay? The cells in your body are primed to fight off invaders. And if they don't do that well, there's a whole host of diseases that occur. They have a variety of sophisticated names. Mary is arguably the world expert in how that happens, both in health and disease. Her studies go from genetics to clinical trials in kids. She went to Lawrence University in Wisconsin. From there, she went to the University of Chicago, and she entered into the MD PhD program. She did her PhD in biochemistry and her MD at the University of Chicago. From there, she did her pediatric residency and was selected to be the chief resident at the University of California, San Francisco, arguably one of the 3 or 4 places that is premier in training pediatric and pediatric investigators in the country. She finished at the University of California and joined the most educationally and academically premier program in pediatric hematology and oncology at Boston Children's Hospital and Harvard Medical School. And there, after being a superb clinician for the beginning of her training, she entered the laboratory of Stuart Orkin, who was a Howard Hughes investigator and one of the fathers of pediatric genetics. And in his laboratory began her work on how white blood cells kill invading organisms. She's received numerous awards from the NIH, allocates. She's a member of all the internationally esteemed societies. She's an editor of the most prominent journal in the world in her field. And she's been at Indiana University for the past 18 years until she joined us last month at Washington University in St. Louis Children's Hospital. She is, in my view, one of the world's leading physician scientists in all of pediatrics. She certainly was the best at Indiana University. Now she has to continue to be the best at Washington University. So it's a great pleasure for me to welcome Mary Dinauer, a colleague, a friend, and our new scientific director.